Welcome to Wildly Wonderful Crafts. We have some amazing high-end Valentine dupes that are made from thrift store items, Dollar Tree items, and repurposed items you have around your house. Stick around to the end so you can see the finished products. Thank you so much. Let's get started. This is our first dupe from Birch Lane. It's a beautiful romantic peony wreath. For this project, we are going to use a Dollar Tree, I think it's a bicycle wreath, and I cut out the inner part of it with some wire nips. And be careful if you use this wreath and do this, because those little sharp pieces left over are very sharp and they can cut your hand. I also got this eucalyptus garland, these peonies. I also got these little roses. I also got these bunches of baby's breath. This all was a great bargain from the Goodwill bins. With one piece of the eucalyptus garland, I'm just wrapping it around the wire wreath form, and it's going to add a little bit of sturdiness to your wreath form as well. And I'm just weaving it in and out till it goes all the way around. And just here I am positioning the eucalyptus to where I need it to be. And it seems like all the wreaths this year don't look too neat. You have a lot of stragglers that are hanging around. I also found this at the Goodwill bins and didn't know if I wanted to use it. This is another different type of garland. It adds some like separation of colors where the eucalyptus is lighter. These leaves are a little bit darker, and it adds more interest to your wreath. So I'm just wrapping it around just like I did the eucalyptus. And here I've got it completely wrapped around, and I'm just tucking it in all the wires. I'm not using any hot glue as of yet. Now here I'm cutting pieces from the second eucalyptus garland, and I'm just having them kind of stick up haphazardly around the wreath to kind of look like a vine and how it kind of spreads out. And here I'm getting another piece, getting the extra pieces at 12 o'clock, 12:15, 12:30, and 12:45 in the position on the wreath, just to give you an idea. And now that I have the wreath the way I like it, we're going to start to add the flowers. I'm going to add the first peony. And now I'm going to add the second one directly across from the first one that we put down, and we're just hot gluing that down in. Now I'm adding the third peony down at the bottom. And I'm adding the little bud of the peony right beside the one that I added at the bottom. Next, we're adding the first rose. We're going to put that one a little bit below the first peony that we added. And we're going to add the next rose, but what I'm doing is pulling off some of the outer petals because we want to make these roses look smaller than the peonies. And then I'm just hot gluing the bottom petals to the base, because when you pull the bottom stems off, sometimes that holds the whole flower together. Now we're adding another rose below the one that we already did. And then the smaller rose bud on the opposite side. And then another one up above that. And you want to make sure your roses aren't going all in the same direction, because when they grow on a vine, they don't grow in the same direction. Now we're going to add another rose up above. And then we're adding another one up beside it. Now just to fill in the spaces in between, I'm adding, I believe this is another peony bud. And then we're adding another rose bud. Now that I have all the flowers where I like them, and now I'm going to add the baby's breath in between. Keep adding the baby's breath in between until it's nice and full and where I like it. Some other ideas where you can get your flowers. I never pay full price for my florals. You can get them at Goodwill, thrift stores, yard sales. The best place to get your florals, and beautiful florals, is from Facebook Marketplace when people are selling wedding stuff. Some people have prices pretty high, but you can get them for a pretty good deal if they're just trying to get rid of them. And these all are, I believe these were from a wedding flower set that I had gotten from the Goodwill bins. And I still felt like the wreath looked bare, so I'm getting a different baby's breath where the flowers are a little bit bigger. And when I'm hot gluing these in, I'm making sure they stand straight up in the wreath, to where the other baby's breath, I was laying it down. I'm making these flowers stand straight up. I feel like it gives more interest and a better visual impact on the wreath. And now that I have all the baby's breath where I want it, I got a pack of gold butterflies from Amazon, and I just used one of them to glue to the peony, and there you have it. For our next project, it's going to be an Anthropology inspired heart lattice iron pot that is made into a topiary. Let's get started. I got this wooden cup from the Dollar General with their Thanksgiving 90% off clearance. I paid 80 cents for this wooden cup. I also got this topiary from a different project I took out. You are also going to need some type of heart stickers. If you don't have a topiary, you can use a styrofoam ball and some of the Dollar Tree reindeer moss. It'll work just as well. With apple barrel crimson red paint, I brushed the first coat on, but with the second and third coats, I sponged it on. But you may want to use a chalk paint because this had a hard time covering it. Obviously, if you use something else, it might be easier, but I just sponged the other coats on. Once the wooden cup is completely covered, then I get some glossy Mod Podge, and I just put one coat on to seal that completely off. You just want to put it all the way around and let it dry completely. Now that your Mod Podge is completely dry, get your heart stickers. And what we're going to do is start placing them in a pattern. I'll show you as I lay them down. I got these stickers at Walmart. I do not recommend getting them for this project. They were very hard to get off the sheet, and I was getting really frustrated, but I never give up, so here we are. And as we're laying these stickers down in the pattern, just make sure you get with your finger, your thumb, and you really rub those heart stickers in, because what we're going to be doing next is spray painting this whole entire vase gold. And just here I am repeating the pattern as I go along. I guess you could say the pattern is you're just placing the hearts diagonal from each other. I guess that's the best way we could describe it. And I slowed this down so you can see this is what the pattern's going to look like, and you want to complete this all the way around your planter. Now that you have all your stickers placed where you need them to be, we are going to get the Rust-Oleum metallic gold spray paint and spray paint the whole thing. And to me, this is the most satisfying part of the project, is peeling these stickers off. Now, some of the gold paint may bleed through. Once I remove the stickers, I'll show you how to fix if the gold paint bleeds through the red hearts. We're just having fun removing these hearts off of the planter. What I did is I got some more of that crimson red and a very fine detail paintbrush, and I just cleaned up where any of the gold bled onto the red. And you just want to do that anywhere you see that there's a mistake. Now you want to get your topiary bush and some hot glue, and you want to glue that down into the center of your planter. You want to hold it until it dries. Now I'm just cutting up some small pieces of a pool noodle, and I'm hot gluing them in and around that topiary so it helps it stay into place and it fills it up. Other things that you can add to the base, if you don't have a pool noodle, you can add the Dollar Tree pebbles or gravel. You could also use the moss that you can get from the Dollar Tree as well. Here's what it looks like when it's all filled up with the Dollar Tree pool noodle. Got a piece of cardstock, and I cut it in a circle that was close to the shape of the base of that topiary, and I cut a circle in the center so it makes like a collar around it. And then just what we're going to do is get some hot glue and glue that all in and around and tuck it down in that planter. Once that's glued down well, then I'm getting some of the reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. I'm hot gluing that on top, and I'm using a little silicone spatula to press it down so I don't burn my fingers. You just want to continue that all the way around until you have the base of your topiary covered. And this is what it looks like once the base is completely covered with that reindeer moss. For this next project, we are going to get an 8x10 Dollar Tree canvas, and you're going to want to use a matte Mod Podge. You want to put 2 layers on it, letting them dry in between, and then letting it dry completely before we go to the next step on the project. We're going to lay the printable on top of the canvas and then some parchment paper. You want to turn your iron on the highest setting with no steam, and we are going to go slowly over all of that printable to make sure it bonds with your canvas. And I would suggest putting a book or something underneath your canvas that's in between where the wooden frame is, so that you make sure you get a good seal with your iron. And then once you have that where you want it, now I'm just turning the canvas around and I'm trimming the edges off with my scissors. And then I'm just getting a piece of sandpaper and I'm sanding off the corners so that it gets a nice tight fit onto that canvas. And don't worry if it roughs up the edges a little bit. It's okay, because we want to make this picture look really old. I mean, I know it already looks old, but we really want to make it look old and roughed up, so it's okay. And I'm also getting this sandpaper and I'm running it along the frame of the canvas, and that also gives it an aged look as well. And now with a Dollar Tree 8x10 frame, I'm just with a pair of pliers pulling out all those picture clips. And then I'm just getting some hot glue, putting a little bit on the top and the bottom. Now this canvas fits pretty snug into the frame, and I'm not going to say it fits perfectly, but it fits just enough so that it's what we need for our purposes. For our next dupe, we are going to make this juniper beaded pink cake glass stand from Pottery Barn. For the supplies we are going to use, you want to cover your work surface, and you want to get some matte Mod Podge and some red food coloring and a container you're going to throw away. Now, for each person, it's going to be different how much they use, so I would suggest doing what I did. Just mix some food coloring and the Mod Podge, and then put it on some of your glassware to see if it's the color that you would like. And my glassware might be a different size, and you may use a different ratio than I would. So this is the color that I came up with. If you want to try to color match closely to this color, here's what it looks like up close. So you're going to get an old baking dish, and I got this scalloped plate and candle holder, or I think it's a champagne flute, I'm not sure, from the thrift store. One was 50 cents and one was 70 cents. So you want to get a sponge brush, and you want to get a glass container or something and lay your plate on top of it. And then we're going to get the sponge brush, and we are going to paint the Mod Podge food coloring mixture all over. Now you want to make sure that you evenly coat it with the sponge brush. Make sure there's no thick spots, because it will show up once it dries. And here's what my plate looks like fully covered. I do recommend working pretty quickly, because this dries very quickly on your plate. So just make sure you go in and clean up all the areas before it dries, because it'll start to form a crust on it. Now the candle holder became more difficult to cover, so I took the sponge off of the handle, and I coated it like this, and it turned out a lot better. Just make sure you work quickly, and make sure that your pieces of glass aren't warm from washing it. They need to be room temperature or cool. If they're warm, they will set up a lot quicker and form a crust on it. Now, after I got both of these pieces covered completely how I wanted them, off camera, you want to set your oven temperature to 200, and you want to bake them in the oven for at least 45 minutes. And you can tell when they're done, because they're going to be completely clear. Once they're done in the oven, remove them in their baking dish and let them sit until completely cool, because once they come out, they're going to be sticky. You don't want to touch them. And this is what they look like once they're done. I think they turned out beautifully. I love the pink color. Now with some E6000, you want to put that all the way around the rim of your candle holder. And then you want to place your plate, centering it right on top. Now I would not use this for a real cake. My next project, I'm going to be making a fake cake. I wasn't sure where to go with this fake cake, so you're going to see beads and clay and everything, but I ended up not using them, so I apologize for the mess. You can use a round gift box that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and you can paint it white, or you can cover it with white cardstock. I just had a white circle gift box on hand. I got one of these pink foam sheets, and I also got decorative scissors that people use for scrapbooking. You can see it up on the right. And I just cut a border So it'll be the bottom border of the cake. Because this cake is just for demonstration purposes, I'm only going to cover half the cake. So what you want to do with that bottom border is just get some hot glue and glue it all the way around the cake. Other things you can use for this border, you can use the Dollar Tree felt. You can also use the Dollar Tree cardstock. You don't have to use a foam sheet. You just use what you have on hand. This is what I had on hand, and I think it makes a very pretty border. I also got some Dollar Tree lace, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting it down the middle. Once I have the piece cut that I wanted, then I'm just getting that lace and I'm gluing it to the bottom of the border of your cake. And I find if you get a little spatula and smooth out the hot glue, it doesn't squeeze through the lace. The Dollar Tree sells this gold beaded wrap. It's in the ribbon section and it comes on a spool. And what I'm doing is I just cut one row of that wrap off. And then what I'm doing is I'm just gluing it in the middle of that ribbon and glue it all the way around. Here's what it looks like once that part is done. Up next, you want to get another piece of your foam sheet. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting the other side of the original piece that I cut so that both sides have a scalloped edge. Then we're going to take that piece and hot glue it on the top to make the top border of your cake. I thought I recorded when I did this, but once you're done with this strip, you want to add the lace like you did on the bottom row and then the gold beading as well, but just make sure you're facing the lace downward instead of upward. And I will show you the finished picture once I'm done. I wanted to keep this cake very simple and not to distract from the pretty cake plate. If you want to make it more fancy, do what your heart desires. And here are the completed high-end dupes. This is the Anthropology topiary dupe, the Birch Lane wreath dupe. We also have the cake that we made. And I didn't realize that the top border of that cake was a little crooked, but that's okay, nothing's perfect. And here is the beautiful cake plate. We also have this framed canvas that I put on a thrift store art easel. Please keep in mind when crafting, you don't have to use the supplies that I use what you have on hand. And as always, to support my channel, hit like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.